Good afternoon to you. An awful lot of cloud around again today. The sunshine in short supply as we end the week. Patchy frost and fog in places overnight and feeling quite chilly once more. This is the earlier satellite and radar picture. Mostly dry, but a good deal of cloud out there. The best of the brighter skies across the south. Here, low, weak autumn sunshine for the luckier ones, and for some, slowly cheering up for a time this afternoon. But the cloud quite stubborn in many locations. Misty low cloud across the bulk of northern Britain and Northern Ireland, together with some hill fog. Rain into the far north of Scotland through the afternoon. Blustery winds here. Some drizzly rain for the western side of Scotland, otherwise mostly dry. Highs of 12 or 13 degrees at best. And then through this evening and tonight, mist and low cloud will tend to filter its way into many locations, together with some patches of fog, thickening up in some spots come dawn. That area of rains links its way southwards. Either side of this, feeling quite chilly, but with the rain, a touch milder. Well, at least we'll have some fireworks lighting up the night sky this evening. In the meantime, a repeat performance to the last week or so with thick, extensive cloud, keeping it disappointingly grey. Dry for the vast majority with mist and fog reforming tonight. And this is the earlier satellite and radar picture, very much the same as the conditions we've seen in the last week or more, with extensive thick cloud, a chance of some brighter breaks across central and southern Scotland, a little more cheerful here. Occasional low, weak autumn sunshine to be found, but an awful lot of grey, gloomy sky for the rest of us. And with that thicker cloud, a few spots of drizzly rain further west with a bit more of a breeze. Highs of 14 or 15 degrees generally, and feeling a little cooler, a little chillier through parts of Scotland and the northeast. And tonight, with any bonfires, the smoke will be trapped by that low cloud, giving poor visibility. Together with the low cloud, we'll see some mist and fog thicken up come the small hours, and this will give quite a slow start to the new day. Good afternoon to you. We're getting on to nearly 2 weeks of grey sky now. The thick low cloud not going anywhere in a hurry, it seems. Some mist and fog patches reforming overnight and turning a little chillier as the weekend wears on. Overnight temperatures will be just a little lower. This is the earlier satellite and radar picture again. Extensive low cloud across the bulk of Britain and Northern Ireland, the exception being northern Scotland. Here, brighter skies, some stunning sunshine to end the week, and a touch brighter through the Pennines with some breaks in the cloud. Otherwise, grey, gloomy conditions. Highs of 13 or 14 degrees. A bit of a breeze across the north and the west, otherwise around 8 or 9 degrees the high. And through this evening and tonight, we've got a good deal of misty low cloud thickening up, together with some fog in places. A chance of brighter skies across northern Scotland into the first stages of Saturday morning once early mist and hill fog clears. And a chillier night ahead, just 5 or 6 degrees for some of us, and we'll feel it first thing in the morning too. See you soon. Have a good day. It's set to stay cold and wintry out there with the Arctic air. Something of a wind chill out there today, a combination of rain, sleet and snow in the next few days, with frosty, icy nights as temperatures fall. Numerous warnings in place for both ice and snow for some of us as the rest of the week unfolds. And bitterly cold again today. Sparkling sunshine, clear and crisp, with picture-perfect blue skies for the vast majority, but showery outbreaks clipping the coastlines. And some of these will give a wintry mix of sleet and snow inland. Further fresh falls of heavier snow across northern Scotland, and here further accumulations across the highest ground, blowing snow across the highest routes. Elsewhere, clear and crisp. The cold feel enhanced by a biting, bitter wind chill and barely above freezing for some of us, so the early frost and ice slow to shift. Through this evening and tonight, bitterly cold once more, a deep freeze, a widespread sharp frost, turning icy, with further fresh falls of snow across northern Scotland. Good evening to you. Staying mild out there for the time being. Disappointingly dull and damp as we slide into the second half of this weekend, but then clearer skies set to return through the latter stages of Sunday. Misty low cloud likely to reform in many places tonight. Quite breezy out there as the rain makes some headway from west to east. And it's looking quite soggy as we start Sunday morning. For those up bright and early, it will be dull and damp first thing, staying quite breezy, but the winds from a southerly direction from the near continent, so staying relatively mild out there. Into the new day, well, for those missing out on a lion, it will be a little grotty first thing with the early misty low cloud and the dribs and drabs of rain across the south and the east. And then cheering up quite nicely, spells of early winter sunshine for the luckier ones before showers and longer downpours get going further west, and here staying a little breezier. But look at those temperatures, very much on the mild side for the start of December. Highs of 14 or 15 degrees out there. See you soon. Have a good evening. Good afternoon to you. Cold and wintry once more. Little let up with those low temperatures. Freezing, frosty and icy again tonight, together with rain, sleet and snow in places through the next 24 hours, where numerous warnings remain in place for the time being. This is the earlier satellite and radar picture. Much of the action to the top and tail end of the country. Further heavy snow blowing across parts of northern Scotland, sleet and snow across Northern Ireland. A combination of wet, wintry weather further south. Some short-lived sleet and snow across the highest ground for a time. But this wet, wintry weather pulls away into the near continent in the next few hours. And any sleet, snow and patchy rain will tend to fade. Elsewhere, clear and crisp, bitterly cold, mind you, barely above freezing, with early frost and ice slow to shift for some of us. The biting breeze adding to that cold feel, and another deep freeze tonight. A widespread frost turning dangerously icy, with fresh falls of snow across the north and the west into the small hours. A very good afternoon to you. Feeling so much colder for all of us this week as temperatures fall, freezing, frosty and icy, with wet, wintry conditions to come for many of us in the next 24 hours. Warnings in place for snow and ice as we go through tonight and into tomorrow morning, the first wintry weather of the season in many locations. Something of a split setup this afternoon, with the best of the drier, brighter weather across the north and the east. Occasional sunshine, but a lot of cloud. Further south, further west, pouring rain to come. Staying a little milder through the far southwest, if quite breezy. For the rest of us, a much chillier theme. The cold Arctic air across Scotland and northern England will mean temperatures struggle all day. Barely above freezing for northern Scotland, with frost and ice in sheltered spots and showers turning a little wintry with sleet and snow across the highest ground. For the rest of us, the rain makes some headway northwards overnight, clashing with the colder air, giving a combination of rain, sleet and snow in many locations. And away from the south, freezing, frosty and icy into the new day. Staying cold and wintry for us today. The cold feel enhanced by a biting, brisk northerly breeze. Freezing, frosty and icy tonight as temperatures fall, and numerous warnings remain in place for snow and ice in some locations through the next few days. Fresh falls of snow across parts of northern Scotland in the next few hours, accumulating across the highest ground here. Sleet and rain at lower levels and around the coast. Further south, staying quite wet and wintry in places. The remnants of the earlier rain, sleet and snow easing and fizzling out as it pulls away into the near continent. But some patchy rain and drizzle will turn a little sleety and snowy across the highest ground of the southwest for a time. Elsewhere, staying dry with brighter skies, but bitterly cold, barely above freezing for some, particularly with that biting, brisk northerly breeze. And through this evening and tonight, temperatures falling away. A widespread sharp frost, one of our coldest nights for quite some time. Any standing water, slush and snow will simply freeze, leaving things slippery and icy come dawn. A very good afternoon to you. Feeling chilly out there as the week wears on. We've got occasional bright and sunny spells for the luckier ones today, but also a good deal of cloud together with mist and fog reforming overnight. This is the earlier satellite and radar. It's a dry afternoon with the best of the sunshine confined to parts of Scotland, the northwest of England, down to the Midlands and through parts of Wales. A little brighter around those southern coastlines for a time. Elsewhere, a lot of grey sky, misty low cloud, reluctant to budge in places, and highs of 13 or 14 degrees at best. But where we've got the cloud, the misty low cloud, and the breeze feeling just a little chillier. Through this evening and tonight, where we've got the clear skies, temperatures slide a few degrees. Prime conditions for mist and fog to simply reform and thicken up come the small hours. Some poor visibility in places with the thicker fog. And temperatures drop down to 3 or 4 degrees in towns and cities. So a slight frost for some of us come dawn.